What's up, everybody? It's yours truly, Myth Legend, Honcho Day, back at Win and Wear. If this is your first time at the channel, please hit a like and subscribe at the bottom of the page for me. And while you're at it, hit the notification bell so you can be notified for any future videos that I have going on. Also, for the video today, feel free to drop a comment of what you think is going to happen as far as the future of Deshaun Watson, and we're going to keep it pushing. Alright, so Pete, so as we know it up until this point, Deshaun Watson is the quarterback of the Houston Texans. And as we know it, the Houston Texans has been a complete dumpster fire. That was the least of his troubles as far as recently. This past year, he wasn't able to play football because he was dealing with going in and out of courthouses to deal with a situation as far as dealing with women on a sexual level, and when it came to about 30 women adding up. So as we know it, all of the charges have been dropped up until this point, and he has the opportunity to play football once again and dictate on where he wants to go next, since he wants to leave the Houston Texans. So one thing we got to factor in for Deshaun Watson is his trade clause in his contract. If you're trying to figure out what a trade clause is him controlling his destination of where he's going to end up calling home at the end of the day. So if the Houston Texans wanted to trade him to the Detroit Lions, then Deshaun Watson himself will have to say, okay, I'm going to call Detroit home now. So if he doesn't, then it's not going to happen. So we're going to bring up teams of who we think we will like to call home possibly for Deshaun Watson here for the future. First team I wanted to bring up was the Seattle Seahawks. As we know, they just traded away their prized franchise quarterback Russell Wilson to the Denver Broncos for a couple of first-round picks and some other assets. Russell Wilson asked out mainly because the Seahawks didn't have an offensive line to block for him for multiple years now, in which he was tired of it, and Deshaun Watson himself has been getting hit. But the Seahawks are sitting in a weird predicament that if they want to pick either rebuilding mode with Jamal Adams and Diggs as their safeties on the back end now, or if they're trying to go all in now, since that, Jamal Adams and Diggs are eventually going to get older eventually, So they have a decision to make as far as calling about Deshaun Watson, and Deshaun Watson himself has a decision to make to decide if he wants to go to the NFC West, where the Super Bowl champions are right now currently. Next team I wanted to bring up was the New Orleans Saints. Now, as we know with the Saints, they have been dealing with a lot of cap issues, and they've been turning a lot of money around as far as some restructured contracts now to get back under the cap. But Drew Brees retired a year ago, and Michael Thomas was pretty much MIA the whole year last year, pretty much saying, I don't want to play with no quarterback that's not Drew Brees. So the Saints need to do something as far as both skill sets from the offense, from receiver, but mainly at quarterback, in which we know is the Saints, they don't mind going all in to win now, especially with the defense that you have right now with Cam Jordan and Davis at the second level as a linebacker, and you have Lattimore and Chauncey Johnson on the back end. I'm taking care of business on the secondary. A guy like Deshaun Watson leading that team in an indoor stadium, throwing the ball around with no weather climate as an issue. I think that would be a lot of benefit for Deshaun Watson himself, and of course it will be beneficial for New Orleans Saints fans. It would simply just be a match made in heaven. The next team that I wanted to bring up was the Carolina Panthers. Now, the Carolina Panthers have an elite skill set of players on the offensive end, from starting with CMC himself, who needs to stay healthy, DJ Moore, Robbie Anderson, and hopefully an emerging receiver Terrence Marshall Jr. The only issue, along with quarterback also, is the offensive line, in which they need to protect their quarterbacks better. Sam Darnold was hit a lot and didn't help his confidence at all. Deshaun Watson has led the league in passing yards, being hit a lot with the Houston Texans before, but I doubt that he wants to deal with another predicament like that. But he has allegedly been meeting up with the Panthers and other teams to talk about a potential trade right now, and the Panthers are a part of that talk right now. So we'll see how that goes. He's known to the area because of Clemson, and he could possibly bring more fans from the Clemson area to the Panthers nation to help him out. The next team I wanted to bring up was the Cleveland Browns. Now, you're probably asking yourself and asking me, how the hell did the Browns find themselves in this predicament? They already have a quarterback. Now, with Baker Mayfield, they're not sold on Baker Mayfield fully as he goes into his last year of his contract on his rookie deal, in which the Browns are ready to win now, and they just seen the Cincinnati Bengals go all the way to the Super Bowl without an offensive line. And the ongoing joke has been going as the Cleveland Browns were supposed to be who the Bengals are literally right now at this moment. And it's starting to look like it's true. The Browns have talent on both sides of football, up and down the roster, and they're ready to pretty much take over the AFC if you ask them. So, allegedly, Deshaun Watson has been interested in joining the Cleveland Browns, and they just made a move for Amari Cooper to fill the void for OBJ and Jarvis Landry to start off the new era of Cleveland Browns football. So, does the new era start off with Deshaun Watson as the quarterback also? We'll see. And the last team I wanted to bring up was the Atlanta Falcons. Now, I know that Matt Ryan just signed a restructured contract deal for, I believe, one more year for now, in which I bring up the Atlanta Falcons because Deshaun Watson himself is from Atlanta, Georgia, so that's home. And it's not just a regular home tie. Warren Dunn, who was a former running back for the Atlanta Falcons back in the day, who was Michael Vick's running back, took the initiative to build a home for Deshaun Watson and his mother when Deshaun Watson was homeless. So Warren Dunn has possibly made some type of phone call to the organization to make a push for Deshaun Watson, because himself seeing Deshaun Watson growing up as a man, he wants to see him thrive to the best quarterback possible. And him being a fan of a team that he used to play for, he most likely wants to see Deshaun Watson do it for the team that he represented once upon a time also. It seems like a match made in heaven for Deshaun Watson to go back home for a city that is made with stars from the music industry to the sports industry, that is hungry and just ready to pop as far as success from the sports world. They've had the Atlanta Braves win the World Series recently, and that was cool and all. But Atlanta, I think it's fair enough to say that, they're a football state. They just seen the Georgia Bulldogs beat Alabama Crimson Tide in the national championship, and they're ready for their pro team to have something to be proud of also. So I think it's something to think about for both sides. And once again, I think it's a match made in heaven. So that brings us to the conclusion today of our video for Deshaun Watson, of who we think that could possibly land him as a trade destination. Please don't forget to like and subscribe and hit the notification bell for any future videos that I have going on. And please drop a comment on who you think Deshaun Watson is going to land himself and why, and who you think is the best fit also for him. Just keep in mind that he does have that trade clause, so whoever he ends up with at the end of the day, it's his decision. So hopefully he can go about his life with peace from everything he's been through, from off the field in the courthouse to living with success and happiness on the football field as a quarterback phenom. I'm yours truly, Legend Honcho Day, once again with another one at When and Where, and I'm out till next time.